Eve paints.
Hey folks, welcome to the first weekly 3D printing Patreon preview. It being near the end of the month, 128 of the campaigns I watch have posted new images. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to sort them by subject. That will take more time yet, and having just moved across the country, I'm finding I have to spend that time elsewhere. If you enjoy the videos and would like to help out, you can like and subscribe, leave a comment, or consider supporting me on Patreon. Quick content warning, some of these campaigns contain pin-up style models. I've left a link in the description to a video discussing why that needs content warning. That said, let's get started. First up, here's a work-in-progress house and a special dial to help tell time in-world from the Aramu project. Here is a male fighter and some decorated bases by Iconic Minis. This is Sir Lancelot Fairlight from Uncanny Minis. This is the DT6800 Dotris tank by K-Scale Models. Project Mobius has the light cruiser Helios and a flight simulator. Here is a 2nd edition Copper Dragon from Stormcrow. Rising Kingdom Miniatures has some cute little robots, a little doggo, and other less cute minis. Jeremy Smith is working on a Warlock and a Plague Summoner. Ratman Forge has a Cyberpunk Businessman this month. Realm of Paths has a Shadow Demon and a Demon Hunter to track him. Dungeon Dog Miniatures has a Tavern Host and a zombie of the same character. Here is an interesting Skull Snail and Remy from Ratatouille by Tentacle Art. Here's a Gandalf with a Gun by KLT Studios. Here's One Hero, 3 Orcs, and a Scary Beast from Black Crag Miniatures. Here's a new backpack and the first pose for a female marine by Realmgate Studios. Your Neighbor Knight Minis is working on a crew of pirates. Renin 3D has 3 Imperial Rusty Commander spaceships. Here's a Sci-Fi Infernal and an alien bug creature from Print, Paint, and Play. Cybermyths has a spaceship, an armored jeep, and a bunch of post-apocalypse looking folks. Here's a set of cathedral bases from Cult of Pickle. This is the 2nd Oni Guard from Claudio Cassini Art. The Lilalian Industrial Complex is rolling out tanks and mechs left and right. Here are the rest of August's demons from the Portal of Morrow. These are Dread Elf Gorgons and Shadow Hunters from Dragon's Lake Miniatures. Here's a 172 scale Jagdpanzer IV from Panzerprinter. Clay Demon Miniatures has a scary scene to discover upon reawakening. Polygrim has Fancy Folks and Zombies from roughly the 1930s. Dadi Dungeon and Dintorni is building a boat this month. A Wilderness Where Angels Have Fallen. Terrain by Savant3D. Here's a Royal Grave from Aug28. This is a Scorpius tank by Valkyrie's Playground. Stonehaven Miniatures has an adventuring party of 8 gnomes for September. Arcanum Workshop has a free Xenomorph statue for you. Zandoria Studios has this wonderful Ice Age Hunter and some dungeon tiles and terrain. These Disc Riders from Magori Miniatures have modular weapon hands and heads. Red Nebular has Spire Guard strips, Space Goblin autogunners, and a big ol' retro robot. These orcs are the Iron Fang clan by Kurzluck Miniatures. This is Witch Uraraka from My Hero Academia by Rubim for their October release. Here's a long-awaited Meerkat from Labradorite Wolf. Maddox Historical has Swedish 7 Years' War infantry. Here are a couple teasers of what Blue Art is working on for September. Here's a Hill Giant from RG Sculpt. This is Vic by Vault Z, a skater girl with a Molotov cocktail. Here is a Barn Owl Cleric from Naga Minis. Two Gargoyles has tank upgrades, a flying base, and basalt columns. Here's a Turtlefolk Artificer and Hoplites by Across the Realms. This modular-looking set of vehicles from Surrogate Miniatures is called the Stormbreaker. Village's Hope Miniatures has posted their second batch of Japanese-inspired minis for the month of August. Here are some Muscovite Arquebusiers and Cossack Light Infantry from Peculiar Companions. Hell Creator has a couple dangerous-looking ladies coming out in September. "3D Hexes has modular mansions for their August release. Here is a work-in-progress distillery room coming from Tiny Furniture Digital next month. Here's the first set of Bugbears for Role-Playing Miniatures September set. Fleshcraft Studios' September release is titled Gravelords. Orc King has a dragon for September and forest elves for August. Greenskin Miniatures has a small army of epic-scale orcs with a warboss, shaman, warriors, and rocklobbers. The Dork Factory has begun working on modular minis for next month, as well as several posed models. Fantasy Cult Miniatures has Arquebuceros coming for September. These Bogrots will be part of Battle Yak Miniatures' September release. Ilhadiel is still hard at work on their Dark Elf army, with Needlefangs, Rex Riders, Spearmen, and Crossbows. This Dr. Octopus-looking droid by Creature Armory is actually a bounty hunter. Here is the finished tavern I showed you a preview of last week by Dragon Workshop. Sable Badger has objective markers, game tokens, and token holders. Here's an MH6 helicopter with gun crew, and a squad of combatants with AKs and rocket launchers by Turn-Based Miniatures. These are Grimguard Delta Force by Runes Forge. Captain Hindsight, modular terrain, and a boarding torpedo from Crucible of Games. Here are the first teaser images for Onmyoji's next release. Here's a sneak peek at Void Realm Mini's Dark Shepherd release for next month. This is the Poison Maker from Imperatum Art. Knucklebones has an Elderberrien leader and a big orc hacker. Warplock Miniatures has a Dark Dwarven Cabal coming in Heroic Scale, and an Undead Pirate Captain coming in Epic. Here are some punk-looking lady gangsters from Albino Raven Miniatures. Here are several mid-month minis from Maddox. Lion Tower Miniatures is working on some Lion Folk this month. Here's Orc and Goblin Archers from Wake's Emporium, with a sneak peek at Epic Stormboys. We got a Squad Boss and a Cutta Beast as Blue Sky Minis' first September release. Goonmaster Games has got some Ninja Cats, Lion statues, and a dragon. Are chibis counted as parodies? Cause if not, I would get this Spaceman by Capsule Chibi quick. Claybeast Creations is working on Beastmen for September. Here's a Fierce Squad Leader from Rageous Creations. Here are some Fifth Element Policemen from Big Mr. Tong. Kyoshuneko Miniatures has a small army in their August sci-fi release. Caballero Miniatures has a Cotillion Nobleman and Madonna with Child turn counter. Highcraft Miniatures has Skelly Pyros, as well as more of the Brog's Toads from last release. Here's a look at the Heroes and Villains Ronin Arts Workshop has in store for you. Here is an early look at Ella Art's August release. Here are a Relaxing Turtle, a Turtle Artificer, and a Sea Flail Snail by Epics and Stuffs Miniatures. This is Anna Raver, Captain of the North People by Davale Games. The Wastelands of Hatras is the August release from Sacris Mundus. Here are 2 models in plate mail and 3 with muskets from Bright Minis. Here are 5 monsters Schlossbauer has released in the last week. This Knoll Matriarch and Flind are from Manuel Boria's September release. Edge Miniatures has some dark elf looking airships in the works. Diceheads has Molefolk and Monstrosities for next month. Titan Troll is working on goblins for their next release. This is Stila Guerrera and Rebel Chadra Fan from Black Remnant September release. Here's a Red Hawks recon team from Red Pilgrim Miniatures. Hopefully they don't fly too close to the sun. Dark Realms has the main temple for their Jungle Ruin set, and some other scattered terrain to go with. Duncan Shadow has new multi-part Musil Rangers, Skelly Stone Trolls, and Monopose Zombies. Vevictus Miniatures has been working on dwarfs for August. Here are all the teasers they put out last week. Atlan Forge's most recent release is this Hades Demon Dreadnought. Here are all the orc units Geargut's Mech Shop has posted images of in the past week. New previews this week from Rocket Pig Games includes a Grave Guardian, Frost Giant riding a mammoth, the Abomination King, and more. Here are some teaser images from Cobra Mode's September release. Asgard Rising has several mythical beasts, as well as ruins to encounter them in, and birds' nests, just cuz. An elite knight serving the Lords of the Nine Hells. This is Kaif, the Illrigger, by Comet Lord Miniatures. The first of Prey Collection Studios' September trio is another Gargoyle, this time Lexington. Punga Miniatures has a Plague Carnival coming up next month. Here's a look at the temple that Gamescape 3D has in store for September. To go with their recent He-Man sculpts, here's a bust of Skeletor from Fotis Mint. Here is the first preview of Itea, High-Tech Huntress, from Ritual Casting. .3D Art Digital has Farsan Satrapies for September, cultists from the Farsan Desert. For September, Forest Dragon has more despoilers, light infantry and a sorceress, as well as noble elf blade masters. Highlands Miniatures has a surprise addition to their August release, the Wittenberg Wagon. Clay Cyanide Miniatures has an Arabian Nights theme for September, reimagined characters from old tales like Sinbad, Alibaba, and others. Gamek showed off their September sci-fi and fantasy tiers this week, with an army of the undead and Soviet-themed sisters. 3D Art Guy has a cyborg battle angel in September, as well as a mystical alien warrior. RN Studio has Classic RPGs Volume 3 next month, where you can find a bunch of old friends from Chrono Trigger. Dragon Trapper's Lodge dropped images of their 15 minis for next month, but no info. You'll have to wait for the lore post for that. This week, Epic Miniatures is getting into their second set for September, Hour of the Demons. You'll have to check out their Patreon for the first. Hour of the Demons includes Night Hags, Pig and Goat Demons, Rakshasa Tiger Fiends, Ogre Warlocks, Demonic Centaurs, the Tentacle-Armed Prince of Demons, a Flesh Horror, and Elephant Folk Paladins. Part 2 of the Maker's Cult August release includes Iron Hive Genomorphs, Feudal Guard Gunships, and a Bombard Captain by guest modeler Realmgate Studios. Cyberforge's September release includes some cyber fungus creatures, as well as Borderland orcs, their mounts, a couple space adventurers, and more. Heroes Infinite is showing off their Fury of the Dark Elves release this week, with a good range of different characters and squads to fill your evil ranks. One Page Rules is working on a new Robot Legions army, in addition to their Mummified Undead and Duchies of Vinci projects. There's also a bit of Battlefleet action happening. Lord of the Print is working on a Heaven and Hell theme for September, with dragons and angels to show so far. New models from MZ4250 this week include some patron requests, a succubus, incubus, and a sturge. It is also Miguel's 7th anniversary of mini sculpting, so congratulations to you, Miguel, and thank you very much for your contributions. Archvillain Games has Storm Giants for September, with their Eye of the Storm release. There is a good selection of different giants, with most of them having optional lightning bolts. Finally, Titanforge has a full preview of their September set, The Old City, with a siege giant, a troupe of performers taking up arms, a couple bandit-looking fellas, modular city guard, and 3 adventurers, all to defend the city walls. That's all for now. I'd like to give a huge thanks to my patrons, The Dork Factory, Zomblor, Sculptor's Cave, Hugo Mendoza, and Nicholas Henley. Your support really means a lot to me. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next week.